Good afternoon, lower school and upper school students. Welcome to this afternoon's assembly. My name is Mark Schuppener. I'm so pleased to be here on stage with a fine group of guest musicians from Oxford University in the UK. And as part of a larger residency that I'll let our guests explain, we have a graduate of Holton from 2014, an alum, Alice Sprinkle, who's a member of this fine group, who will be speaking in just a moment. But on stage you see members of the upper school chamber orchestra who have combined with this Oxford University orchestra to produce some traditional music from Afghanistan on traditional instruments and modern instruments. So for those of you seeing a variety of instruments on stage, there's a reason, because there is a variety, and a wonderful variety of them. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over the microphone to Alice Sprinkle and members of the Oxford University Symphony Orchestra.
As Mark already mentioned, my name is Alice Sprinkle, and I'm a member of the class of 2014. I'm also a 6-year member of the Oxford University Orchestra, and I'm so excited to be here today with other OUO members, as well as this wonderful group of Afghan musicians. This event today is incredibly special to me, and I'd like to tell you why. While I was a student at Holton, I enjoyed playing in both the upper school string orchestra and the chamber orchestra. Many of my best memories of Holton happened within the walls of the orchestra room. But I also participated in music outside of school, notably with the Maryland Class of Youth Orchestras. MCYO has a connection to Afghan music. In February of 2013, when I was a junior at Holton, the Afghan Youth Orchestra, a group of young musicians from the Afghanistan National Institute of Music, performed with MCYO at the Kennedy Center to an enthusiastic, sold-out crowd. Holton, if you didn't already know, also has the same Afghan connection. I was part of the MCYO group that performed with the Afghan musicians 11 years ago, but in order to attend the required rehearsals, I had to leave school early one day. I approached former Holton administrator Lisa Pence about my upcoming absence, and she was immediately fascinated by the project. The whole upper school had just watched the documentary Girl Rising in Assembly, which includes the story of a young Afghan girl who was a child bride without access to education. The idea of Afghan girls getting to experience education, specifically in music, which had been previously outlawed by the Taliban, was incredible. Unfortunately, Mrs. Pence realized that she was unable to attend the concert at the Kennedy Center and asked me if it would be okay for her to sit in on one of our rehearsals that week at Strathmore. When I asked the director of the Afghan orchestra for permission, he shocked us all, saying, "Why don't we just come perform at your school?" Holton enthusiastically agreed. Within days, an event was planned right here in the Lewis Theater. Students from all divisions were in attendance, plus a plethora of faculty, staff, parents, and siblings, much like today. It was standing room only. The local news even showed up. The Afghan musicians performed, playing a mixture of traditional Afghan and Western classical instruments, and the crowd was enthralled. Fast forward to the present, and the lives of those Afghan musicians and many others have changed. As you may be aware, music is once again forbidden in Afghanistan. Instruments are being burned. Afghan musicians are now refugees all around the world. 2 such musicians, Nazira and Nagin, were part of the group that performed at Holton in 2013. They're also here today. The Afghan performances in 2013 were eye-opening for me. Before, I had no idea that there were places in the world where music was illegal. It is almost unfathomable for us in America to imagine a world without music. Here, it's everywhere, playing in stores and shopping malls, on the radio, at social functions, for example. I quickly realized that I had been taking music for granted. Music was, and is, my life. And after spending time with the Afghan musicians, I instantly had a change of perspective. That perspective has followed me throughout the last decade as I pursued a career in music and academia. After graduating from Holton, I earned my bachelor's degree in viola performance from the University of Colorado Boulder. In 2018, I moved to Oxford for a master's in musicology at the University of Oxford, then pursued a second master's and a PhD at University College London in music education, which I am currently working on. My music studies have taken me all around the world too. I've been to over half of the US states and about a dozen countries, all with my viola on my shoulder. Music has the power to provide incredible opportunities to collaborate and learn from those in other countries, to share our universal language. Although when we worked together, we didn't speak the same language, I learned so much from the Afghan musicians, and I've carried the memory of our performance together with me everywhere as a constant reminder of how fortunate I am to be able to freely study the subject I love, to play my viola, and share music with others. As you all listen today, I encourage you to consider your own relationship with music, to think about all the places you hear it, how often you listen to it. Think about how you might participate in it, such as being an orchestra, band, or chorus. Think about how music makes you feel, and then try to imagine your life without it. My classmate, Susanna Bain, wrote an article for Scripture following the Afghan performance in 2013. She wrote, quote, "Imagine a world where music is hard to find, a world where during your own lifetime, governments destroyed instruments and repressively censored all forms of music. Now imagine a community that finds the strength to risk restoring the sounds of instruments and playing and children singing and laughing, all in the name of peace," end quote. I am so glad to be able to bring this extraordinary group of musicians back to Holton and to introduce you all to Afghan music. Please help me in welcoming them.
Thank you so much for that, Alice. It was a beautiful speech, and it is because of Alice that we are here today. My name is Dr. Kayana Panchoni Bailey. It is my honor and privilege to conduct the Oxford University Orchestra and our guest Afghan musicians on this tour. And Alice was the one who had this incredible idea to bring us all together and to collaborate with the Afghan musicians that are living here now in the United States. So I know we just applauded her, but I would like us to all give a really special applause again to Alice for making all this happen. Into my own backstory with Afghanistan's orchestra music, except to say that I encountered it in 2018, and it has never left me, nor have the people who make this music, and it's such a pleasure to bring them all together tonight. I'm going to introduce the person who's actually going to lead us through the concert this afternoon, someone who's very dear to my heart, who's very important, I think, to the ideas of what Afghanistan's orchestral music is all about. It's about empowerment, it's about bringing people together, and it's about musical justice, music for all, and being able to express ourselves. So Nagin Kapelwa was one of the first conductors of the Zora Orchestra. It was the first all-female orchestra of Afghanistan. And when Nagin took on that job, she became a very public figure in Afghanistan. And not everyone, even even before the Taliban took over this last time, not everybody was as keen on music, and especially girls making music in public. So Nagin was very courageous in that job. She spoke out a lot about being a female and being able to make music and asserting her musical rights. She's a real sort of activist warrior for women in music, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for her. So please give a warm welcome to Nagin.
I just wished with myself that I wish in Afghanistan the girls could go to school. This is the beginning of the year in Afghanistan and the school start, but the girls are not allowed to go to school. So it was sad for me, but I was really happy that see you all girls that sitting here in these chairs, and I hope one day in our country the girls could go to school too. But also, I wanted to introduce the group. Hamid, my husband, and he's playing tabla, and he will show a little bit on tabla something. Could we play something, Hamid? And which is Indian instrument, and we played in Afghanistan and mostly in Pakistan and lots of countries, but mostly in India and in Afghanistan. player, and she studied in India, and she was, and sitar is also Indian instrument, and in Afghanistan also they play. Ball on and now Hamid and Kais will play a raga, and enjoy. called Paymana Bade. Afghan traditional ensemble will play that for you guys, and hope you enjoy. She composed it, and she is my classmate. And since I was 9, we grew up together, and so we are friends from childhood. And now she's here studying cello, and she composed this song. Endless, and she will talk about this song. You are. Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming here. It's very special, it means a lot to me and to everyone here. This piece, I wrote it during the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban, and it was a time, it was a very hard time for me, it was very difficult. All I saw was like the news. I was here in America, my family and everyone, my friends were in Afghanistan, and I couldn't do nothing except I just would watch the news, and it was the hardest time of my life. And so the only thing I could do during those emotional times was to just do what I knew, to write music. And this represents the situation of Afghanistan over the years. It starts a bit calm when Afghanistan was a little bit peaceful, and the middle part is it's a bit emotional and sad, which represents the Taliban taken over, to Afghanistan's taken over by Taliban, when they kill a lot of musicians. They've broken a lot of instruments, and that represents that time. And the end, it ends with happy and uplifting music, which represents hope. Like there's always hope. The Taliban they can kill, break instruments, kill a lot of great musicians, but music is immortal in our hearts, and it will always be there for us as long as we are here. Thank you so much, it means a lot.
very much. It's genuinely an honor to share this music with you today. It is the end, but as you guys leave, the Oxford University Orchestra and our musicians are going to play one more piece for you that will groove you out of the room. Holton-Arms musicians who were fantastic today. Thank you so much. A round of applause for them. So you guys can exit too whilst we play Bidi Sanam Janam. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.